Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are very happy to welcome the head coach at CHS for football, Ryan Lynch. Ryan, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great to have you here. You're having a good season.
Yeah, we're created a lot of excitement. We're winning some close games, and the community's excited, so we're happy.
Couldn't be better. Only it could be. I guess we could have.
Yeah,
we could have a 4-0 record instead of
yeah.
3-1.
Yeah, we didn't come into the season talking about records, so we'll take it and learn from it and keep moving.
Sam, you were at the ball game Friday night.
Nice night for football once again. South Dearborn came ready. Spartans were ready. It's just South Dearborn came out on top. They got a nice ball club.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they play. They got a good quarterback, and they're very aggressive on defense. And the coach has been there a few years, and he's got things rolling. They weren't a traditional power. They were down when he came in there. He's the son of East Central's former coach, Coach Ballard. So he knows what he's doing. But penalties and turnovers got us. We got off to a bad start and basically didn't recover from it.
And that happens. And turnovers, no matter the sport, can really put you behind the eight ball, and that's what we saw. And maybe some breaks didn't quite go our way, but those are things you just have to play through.
Yeah.
And but still, nothing to be ashamed of. The kids came out and gave it their all, as they always do, and an opportunity to learn, I would think, and bounce back for homecoming this week.
Well, I talk to the kids about that a lot. Like sometimes you learn more if you're a smart person and you're going to grow as an individual, that you'll learn more from failures than you will from success. If you keep succeeding, then you don't see the things that you're doing wrong or the things that you need to work on, or you're not so critical of yourself because you got away with something. Mm-hmm. So it's not always bad. We don't go in trying to lose games so we can learn, but we'll learn from it. And the kids respond to it. They came back Saturday ready to go, so we're excited to keep moving.
Do you, after a game, I know that you review the film and all that, do you edit that or show the kids what they need to work on? Use today's technology, it's pretty easy, I think, to do something.
Yeah, they have an app called Huddle, and we come in early as coaches at 7. We bring the kids in at 9, and so we get a chance to see it first before we see it with them. And then it's clipped. It's not just like a continuous movie. This one was 189 clips. So we'll go in and mark those clips. And when they come in, we'll show them those clips instead of thumbing through everything, because it takes a long time to go through 189 clips. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is all the kids are on that app. So we as coaches can send an individual player 3 or 4 clips with notes and show it, and we can put arrows and diagrams and things on there. So we're constantly doing that, not just Saturday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Coming into the game, we see something that the opponent's going to do, we'll send that to them, and they can get it on their phone and they can review it. So we use the technology.
So do you split that up somehow? Offense and defense and special teams to concentrate on those particular players?
Yeah, we break it apart. We put the linemen in one. We'll go like offense first and do the linemen. We'll go with Coach Marvel, Coach Vessels, and then the backs and receivers. We'll go with Coach Keene and Coach Morris and Coach Vessels. And then we'll take like a 15-minute break, and they go out on the track and they do like a little warm up. We put the hurdles out and they stretch their hips and kind of get loosened up. Then we come back in and we do the same thing on D. Take the defensive linemen, sometimes the middle backers together, then the back end with the other coaches.
So you have organized practices. I mean, it isn't just everybody out there running in all directions.
No, and on Saturdays, we just bring the varsity in. So it's 20-ish kids, so it's manageable. And I do that for 2 things. One, so we can focus on the guys that were actually in the game. We can focus on that. And also, my JV kids work hard. They play scout team all week. They come Friday night to the game, and then whoever we play Friday night, we play them JV Monday.
Yes.
So I don't want them burn out coming Saturday morning unnecessarily.
That's good.
When they got a game Friday. So I try to give them a break. I'll invite them, and some of them do come, so they can learn and see what we're doing but it's our varsity guys, our core guys, and we break them down by positions, 2 different areas of the locker room. And
how long does this practice session usually last?
9 to 11. Like I said, we go about 45 minutes or so. Then they do 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then they do D. And at the beginning, we buy them. I go to Wendy's every Saturday morning. I buy 20 sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits and 20 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. And the linemen eat first. So if you're watching this and your son's a lineman, the linemen eat first.
By 22, Sam and I will
Well,
join
let's
you.
go.
South Dearborn, this team is from Aurora, and as you say, they have a veteran coach.
Mm-hmm.
What was the turning point in the ball game? You fell behind early Friday night?
I think so. You know, we talk a lot about it, and we talk about momentum, and especially high school sports with the emotion of a 16, 17-year-old kid. But you'll see it in an NFL game or an NBA game. You know, you'll see that momentum shift, and they got that momentum right out the gate. And in these other games that we've won, we've been able to. We got behind in those games too, but we were able to get the momentum in our favor down the stretch and make some plays. And there were several times in there where we were just about to do that, I think, and we would have a penalty or a turnover or something happen.
To stop your...
Yeah, to stop the momentum. We never really got that going, where they started doubting themselves, you know.
Perfect example of that Saturday night. I was watching the Indiana Hoosiers, and they had a rain delay and all that, but they were down to a team they shouldn't have been down to at halftime, but the momentum somehow shifted second half, and they came out and played well and ended up winning that game.
Yeah.
So it as you said, it can be at all levels.
Well, I talked to my kids. I got basketball players on my team, you know, Braxton Myers and Taco and Gavin. I talked to them about that Greensburg game here in the sectional. You know, that's a perfect example of a momentum shift. We're up 11. We're in the fourth quarter. We're in our grind, and they started pressing, and the crowd started getting into it. You know, so that happens. That happens in every sport, at every level. How you manage that, and are you mentally strong enough to handle those runs and then come back and do something, you know, to stem the tide, type of thing.
When it's that way, going into the locker room at halftime, how do you talk to them to get that to change?
Well, you know, we talk about we say we're the best conditioned team, and we worked super hard this summer to be that. So we're looking forward to coming out of that second half with the second wind. You know, we're playing a lot of guys both ways, so they get gassed early, but usually they'll come back with that. You know, they get their second win. So we don't go in the locker room and sling chairs around or anything too much. You know, I won't say we don't get excited sometimes, but most of the time we're coming in with a minor adjustment one way or the other from what happened in that half, and then we're talking about that first Bobby Knight first 3 minutes of that second half. You know, how we come out at the second half, that first drive, whether we're on O or D, how we're going to handle that. So that's basically what we talk about.
It's really crucial, isn't it, in sports that you get off to a good start at the second half?
Yeah. First couple games, we were on offense first, and even at Franklin County, we won the toss and took the ball, and that's uncharacteristic of me as a coach. I like to defer so we get the ball in the second half.
Most coaches do.
Yeah, but the stats say if you score first, you win most of the time.
Oh, okay.
So there's a happy medium in there, but I think we did that, you know, this week, and weren't able to cash it in or whatever. You know, they won the toss and took the ball the same way. They thought if we come in and cash it in, we'll beat them. We stopped them, but we had some special teams snafus that cost us a little bit there. But yeah, coming out of that second half is very important. You know, you see it in high school football a lot. That score, you can watch the scores, and they're low scoring, and then the second half it rolls, and you'll see a game that was 21-7 end up being 59-7. And that's probably the thing that I'm most proud of my kids and coaching here for a long time. We're down 27-7. Not a lot of success there in that first half. We actually had the ball twice down there in the red zone and couldn't punch it in, but we ended up 33-14. You know, we kept fighting. We didn't quit. We didn't let that happen to us, and that's what we've been talking about all year. We haven't been talking 4-0 or 6-2. We talk about respect. We talk about
Okay.
competing every play, good, bad, and the ugly. We come up, Coach Brown, I'll use Coach Brown all day long, next play mentality. Do we have that next play mentality to come out there and forget about what just happened and
Yes.
do our job?
Well, losing one ball game, we take nothing away from your first three.
Yeah. No, I don't think the kids are down. We're still in that pattern of behavior where do we believe we're just going to come in there and just roll teams, or we're going to confident we can play with them. I think there was a little skepticism as, are we as good as them? Can we beat them? Type of thing. We still have that. Not as bad, but I think that's something we just got to keep working on.
Be nice to have another opportunity at that. But
Yeah.
We won't.
No, they're in 3A, so we won't see them, or Franklin County or Greensburg. Basically, the only team on our schedule that we'll see twice is Richmond, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
We have some highlights from the ball game Friday night. Let's watch those right now here on TV3. Coach, you might tell us what we're seeing here and everything.
Well, that's the first series. Like I said, they took the ball with the coin toss. We stopped them. They punted. In our first possession, we snapped it over our punter's head, and then they cashed it in. And then the second series, it doesn't show there, we botched a punt as well. So they're up 13-0 off two. And this is a great throw here. Taco, our quarterback, stepped in there and delivered a great pass, and Taco snared it.
They seem to read each other very well.
Yeah, they're cousins, so they know each other well. This is Braxton, or Mr. Do-It-All, Mr. Fix-It, playing running back. And all in all, we played very good defensively. We gave up a couple blurps. They got 2 short end touchdowns, and the blurp here, see this? You see here, a speed option. We get caught inside. And then this kid here, he's electric. He's pretty tough. He's only a junior too. And we bottled him up pretty good, but if he gets ahead of steam, he's hard to handle.
Well, they came in only averaging a little over 6 points a game defensively, which we were able to double that, more than double that. But
they got a solid program. That's a great throw. Their quarterback's very Gavin Pearson-like. I watched him play baseball. He's a little middle infielder. He's tough, and he stays in there, and he's pretty accurate. Here's the joystick right here. Carter DeBoard going against the grain on a sweep and making 4 or 5 guys miss late in the game, and there we are, still fighting and still playing.
And that's what you want to see.
Yes.
Never give up. And
no, I don't think these kids have it in them. And I know I don't as a coach, that's what I'm trying to put in their head.
You mentioned that a few years ago, South Dearborn, that was usually a team we could win, but the last several years since you talked about their coach, they've come around. So that's something we can emulate there.
Oh yeah, like that should show us what we can do. He's done a good job. He's organized things. They've dropped down to a 3A, which I think gives them a little hope that they can move down, in the tournament. Of course, they've got Lawrenceburg right in their backyard. And so, and down there, a lot of kids, with open enrollment could grow up in South Dearborn and play for Lawrenceburg, or be at East Central and transfer into Lawrenceburg. It's happened a lot in the past few years.
Dearborn County is a pretty good football county. Yeah, you got those 3 schools.
Those 3 teams are probably the cream of the crop in our conference. They're physical. Their primary sport is football down there, and they're close to Cincinnati. In today's age, these kids get a lot of training and stuff, and we have to take our kids to Indy or whatever to get that kind of training, and they're right there in their backyard. So,
what do you think the Spartans learned from that ball game Friday night?
Well, I hope they learned that what I've been teaching them since they were 3rd and 4th graders is the game comes down to penalties, turnovers, and 5 or 6 plays. Who won that battle, and then who made those plays? And they did. If you watch that film, we had turnovers, we had penalties, and we gave them those plays that we didn't make, the 60-yard plays that we didn't get that they did.
You say the JV team is playing at South Dearborn?
Yes. Yeah. When we play the opponent from Friday night, on Monday we play JV. Yes. So it's a home game, so we're headed down to Aurora. I'm actually headed down there myself. I travel with the JV. So right now we've had a couple games short, but we're 1-1-1. Good. In the one game we lost, it was 12-12 with a minute to go, and we went for the win. So we didn't want the tie, and we threw a pass that got picked off and ran back for pick 6. That's not a play that we would normally run. It was like a minute left in the game, and we're trying to do something. I wake up and the next morning, like, why did I do that? But at the same time, I want our kids to fight. I don't want them to settle for a tie. You know, who wants to play and work all week and play that game so hard to not have your coach trust you to try to win the game for you?
Well, it's important the kids aren't down after a ball game like that.
Yeah. No, our kids they're really solid. We got some good kids. Like I said, they're good. Sure. They're going to be good adults. You know, I can't say that. I've seen that every year in and out. But I've got a lot of really good kids, and I tell them that all the time. Like, there's a few of them, I could give them $1,000 and I could be gone for a week, and I'll come back and that $1,000 laying there. You know what I mean? You can't always say that.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate.
Sports build character.
Yeah. And I'm talking to my kids and my seniors, and we got that sledgehammer, if you've ever seen it, but like, I tell them that all the time. Like, you're the beginning of this program. Like, where we're at now and where we're going to be are two different things. And, you know, when you come back 10 or 15 years from now, what you started is what we're going to be doing still. So, you know, I'm very fortunate to have the kids, and not just my seniors, though. I mean, I got some really good underclassmen that are leaders.
And you got them playing clear down the elementary level. I came by old Spartan field at Grandview the other day, and kids out there playing. That's good to see. And it looked like they had quite a few kids there.
Not only that, but they are running the exact same system that we run. We have first and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth. There's 3 teams. We have the 7th grade team and 8th grade team. All of them run our plays. And so on Saturday mornings, I go get my lawn chair and my bucket hat and try to stay out of the sun as much as possible, but I watch them, and I'm watching the improvement. And my varsity guys have came down. I took my skill players down there on a Monday, and they all came out and sat down, and my varsity players ran our offense and show them what they're doing is what we're doing. And so they could see that. You know, I think that's very important. You know, when Coach Racky was here, that's the way he did it. And when you were 3rd grade, you ran the same triple option play you ran as a senior. So then when you get into high school, you're not teaching, installing new plays and new system every year. You're working on your body and you're working on your mind, you know. So, you know, I'm happy where we're at, and I see a lot of improvement. You know, like today, the 5th and 6th grade coach, he runs the league, and he messaged me, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, like, you know, we have a relationship. I interviewed every one of those coaches. We didn't just take a bunch of dads and let them run whatever they want to. We sat down and we interviewed each coach, and then we set it up like a structure. Each team has a head coach, and each team has an offense coordinator and defense coordinator. So we're setting that pattern up where we can be successful and where we can focus on our stuff.
Talk about your coaches that help you during the week. With the varsity team and JV as well. Yeah, well, I hope I don't leave anybody out, but I start with Coach Paxson. He's my teacher. He's a teacher, and he's my assistant head coach. And that when I got the job, he's the first person I talked to. I need somebody. I'm a lay coach, and I asked that so that I could be out with the community and go to different areas of the town. But I got Coach Paxson there, and we had a defensive coordinator who's going to be the wrestling coach. And he took the Cambridge City job. So not only did he accept that role, but then he took on defense coordinator position. And then I've got Adam Keene. He's been there the longest, I think, since around 2000, 2001, coach running back D-line. He's got a son that's on the 8th grade team. He also double dips, and he coaches the 8th grade team for me.
I got Jason Morris. He's as cool as the other side of the pillow. He doesn't get excited. He's very cerebral. He's very knowledgeable. He knows these kids. He has a son that's a senior that had to stop playing because of concussions and stuff early on in his career, but he's stuck with those kids, and he has a great relationship with those kids, and there's a trust. And we have that with our whole staff.
And an alumni.
Yep, and he's an alumni. Quarterback, you can't have enough quarterbacks. I got John Marvel and Macaulay Vessels, both 2012 graduates,
Right.
young, hungry, can relate to the kids. And then I pried my college roommate and best friend Mike Brock back out, and he's knee deep in coaching linebackers and game planning, and he's the CTO over at Stant Manufacturing. He's an engineer. He's a problem solver, and that's what he does. He solves problems. What problem we see this week, we'll fix it. We got Orland Foster and Kevin Miller. They can't be there full time, but they come and on defensive nights and come, and then they come on Friday nights. So they come on Wednesdays and Fridays. I got Noah Barnes, who's another young guy. He's getting his teaching license, helps me coach the JV. He does our huddle setup. Brian Durham, we call him Bull. Our Rockstar call him the mayor because Brian's everywhere. You guys know that. You see those fireworks Friday night, that's Brian. Brian's breaking down. We got him breaking down film of the opponents a week ahead. So
Lots of enthusiasm for Brian.
so we have a lot of guys on the staff. I got Javon Upchurch comes out, another guy who's a volunteer. He works full time, but he wants to be part of it. And I'll call him Juice. He brings the juice. He's got that, he's got that energy, and he loves the kids, and he's excitable, and the kids love him. And I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I got a lot of coaches.
Yes, you have.
And we have more coaches at the middle school. They have one paid position as head coach and 3 assistant. But I have several other guys that volunteer so that we could set that structure up that I was talking about, where we have a head coach and 2 coordinators at each level as we come up. Because I've seen that be a big problem, where the head coach might be an offensive-minded guy, and that's all he focuses on all week, or his son's on the team and he wants to focus on that, trying to minimize that. Obviously, I can't pay everybody or anything, so
Right.
That's great you have that many working with you and everything.
Yeah. No.
Here is the schedule for this week here at CHS. Boys tennis home against Newcastle on Monday, along with JV football. We talked about at South Dearborn on Monday. Volleyball home with Centerville at the Fieldhouse on Tuesday. Boys soccer at Nicetown. Golf at Franklin County. Girls soccer will be home with Shelbyville. On Wednesday, tennis home with Rushville. Boys soccer at Greenfield Central. Volleyball home with Franklin County. On Thursday, it will be girls soccer at Anderson. Boys soccer home with Richmond. On Friday, of course, at Spartan football at Spartan Field with Rushville. On Saturday, girls golf sectional is getting underway. Girls cross country will be at Westfield. That's middle school and varsity and JV. Tennis will be at Yorktown. Girls soccer home with Batesville. Boys soccer will be at Franklin County. And Ryan, what are you expecting out of Rushville Friday night?
Well, I know their coach well. We actually work together at Farm Bureau, and he's a young guy, and he's a hustler. He's got a lot of energy. He's doing a good job with that program. He inherited, I won't say he inherited a mess, but it was not, the boat was not floating, and he's doing an excellent job. They run an up-tempo, no-huddle, spread offense. They platoon, not 100%, but they have an offense and a defense, so they really try to wear you out with that offense. They'll get to the line, and then they'll call the play. They don't go to the huddle and do it.
Yes.
And so they're going to be a good matchup. They played tough against some of these teams we've played. Franklin County was a tough game. I've watched Shelbyville play several times now because they played Rushville, they played Greensboro, and Shelbyville's in the same league as the rest of us, and they beat them. So they're doing a lot of good things.
Should be an interesting night as homecoming and all that with it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's always a good game.
Yes.
And, I had an interview with the CHS today, and they were asking about what that war on 44 means. We're so tied in. I would consider this a rivalry, but a friendly rivalry.
Sure.
A lot of my kids and my wife's family lives on County Line Road, has a Rushville address, and 3 or 4 or 5 of my kids are Glenwood kids, and they do 4-H, and they know these kids. So, and a lot of people work in Rushville, or people in Rushville work here, or you married somebody from Rushville. There's a lot of ties to this community. So it's a fun game.
Got a lot of respect for Rushville.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a lot of fun in any sport, it seems like. But I like going over there, and I like it when they come here. And in football and basketball, I love going over there for basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they got a lot of good people, and as a player, we had a lot of matchups, growing up, and I played some AAU ball over there with Doug Marlowe, and his wife's the athletic director now. So, there's, like I said, it's a friendly rivalry. Probably a little friendlier than the Franklin County rivalry, but it's very similar. Brookville's the same way. Growing up, you're like, oh, we don't like that team, and then you work and you meet people from these other communities, and we're all the same.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, we look forward to it. This should be a lot of people. You talk about a crowd. We've had some excellent crowds, and they will bring the crowd over here. They'll fill that side up over there, and they're excited about their program. They should be.
Yeah, they're 2-2 on the season. They started off winning their first 2 after, and I forget what it was, like a 17-game losing streak they were on. So that put some pep in their step. And I understand a good friend of mine that went to school here at Connersville, is a retired teacher over there. He texted me scores during the games, and he said they should not have lost to Batesville on Friday night, that they gave that one away. And it was a close game, 13-7.
Right.
I think it was tied for most of the game. So they'll be ready, I'm sure.
No, I think we're all in that same. I don't think anybody's head and shoulders above anybody in this area that I keep talking about. Franklin County, Connersville, Richmond, Rushville, Greensburg. We're all in that same ring. Who's going to be more prepared? Who's going to less penalties and turnovers type of thing? But yeah, it should be a good game.
Here's how area teams are doing. Cambridge City is 0-4. They lost to Northeastern 483-6 on Friday night. This Friday they'll be playing at Hagerstown. Centerville is 3-1. They won 42-6 over Winchester. They'll be at Tri on Friday. Union County is 2-2. They lost by a score of 26-7 to Hagerstown. They'll be at Winchester on Friday. Rushville is 2-2, as we talked about. They lost 13-7 to Batesville. They'll be at Spartan Field on Friday night, of course. And Franklin County is 1-3. They lost their ball game to East Central by a score of 54-0, and Richmond is 0-4. The Red Devils lost 80-0 to Lafayette, Jeff, and they'll be at home with Indianapolis Tech on Friday. So 80 scores. I mean, where's the mercy rule?
Well, I know we talked about this the first time I was here. We're not looking to win or lose.
Sure.
55-0. We're looking at 28-21, 28-7. That's what we're looking at, and it comes down to the clock running. If you're getting beat 80-0, then you must have not had that clock running and weren't able to run the ball.
Ryan, a great pleasure to have you join us and taking time out from a busy schedule. And I know you'll have the Spartans ready to go Friday night against Raceville.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys being there. And, it was neat to, in that Franklin County game, they asked us if they could do the film for us so we could accommodate Channel 3 TV. And I was like, of course. It's great. A small community like us being able to.
Sure.
And a lot of people watch these games.
So. I know. Thanks, Ryan, for joining us, and thank you for watching the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Good evening, everybody.